Welcome everyone, this is Zon with Repro Products. Today's video is on Bluebeam Revu 2018 and an introduction to the new interface. Here I am in Bluebeam Revu 2018. When you start up the software, you'll get this tab called Welcome to Revu 2018. In here, there's a little icon that you can click to display and watch a new video on the new features. You have the ability to click Open Sample Floor Plan to get some files to play with. And you also have the ability to click Launch Revit Tutorials. For example, if I click this icon, your review will change and have a little window, and it lists different functions like markup tools, collaborative review, document management, so on. So pick the one you want and click Next. And what happens is the interface, the profile, will change to emulate that functionality. And then you can click the video to watch the quantity takeoff item that you selected earlier. Now, I have a file open up already in Bluebeam Revu, and for those of you who use profiles very heavily, they are now located in the Review icon up here in the upper left corner. Click it and click Profiles, and then set it to the review to the profile you want. And as you can see, my profile is set to Review Advanced. And you have all of your icons still on the left-hand side. You can still move them from one side to another if you need to. Just left click and hold and drag and move it to a different location. I prefer to have some of my commands on the left side and some of them on the right-hand side. It just depends on what you're working with. You also can, by the way, dock it to the left or the right, or make it go side by side. And you can also make it floating, as you can see here. Okay, so I'm going to throw it back down there, and I'm going to move it down to the bottom. You'll notice as well, your interface and your icons are a lot sharper. There's a bit more contrast, and there's more color, and there's a lot more pop to it. You have your file menu pull downs like File and Edit and View, and it'll give you contextual drop down list, and it gives you access to different commands, as you can see here. There is a new contextual properties toolbar right here, and that contextual properties toolbar will list the properties of the document. And you can also, by the way, click the properties command to get to the properties panel that lists that data. You can still slide the width of the tabs and the panels on the left and the right hand side. And also on the bottom for the markups list, and also for the 3D tree tools. When you are in a command, for example, creating a markup, and by the way, you can go to Tools, Markups, and pick something, say rectangle, you'll notice that a couple of things happen. Your properties palette displays the property information about the markup you're about to create, but more importantly, the contextual properties panel toolbar shows up here, and it lists things like the color of the line that you want to work with, the intensity of the line, the style of the line work, the thickness of the line, and so on. So you can change whatever you want. And so let's say maybe I do a fill for the rectangle, maybe I do a different color, and maybe a different line style, say that one, and I draw my object. And you can see very quickly it puts in that information with all the property data. If you need to get to the preferences of the software, go over to Review and click Preferences, and in here you can make different adjustments to different things like the interface, the tools, the studio, the window, and so on. The tab panels, as you can see that I can adjust here, the dots that were displayed in 2017 and older are no longer there. You just have to put your mouse over the edge, left click and hold and drag to adjust the size. If you left click the edge once, it will collapse. So you can do this on both the left and the right side and the bottom as well. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to where that line sits, especially since you have the status toolbar here and navigation toolbar here to work with a document. I prefer to have everything show up. So when I'm working, it's easy to get to the data and I can see it. And also a lot of people work with multiple monitors, so they can move things around a little bit or they have a larger monitor to work with. You still have the toolbars in the top portion. You can right click in the gray area and you can still check or uncheck tools that you want to see or not see. So as long as it's checked, you'll see the data. If it's not checked, you won't see the data. You have the ability to right click over here on the right hand side or on the left hand side, showing or hiding different functions and tools. In my Bluebeam Revu Advanced profile, I have it set to show every single tool that's available, just so it's in front of me and I can play with it and learn it as time goes by. You still have your markups list down at the bottom. You can still adjust it. It still shows all of your data. They have moved the 3D tree model tree tools down here, so it makes it easier to see horizontally. And then also, if you're doing any kind of JavaScript console, it's down here as well. You also have your icons on the lower right hand corner for things like displaying the grid, snapping to the grid, snapping to markups and content, and the reuse command. You have the size of the document that you're working with here. And you also have in the lower right hand corner these little numbers here that represent where your cursor sits and with the actual positioning of it in the document. So that's a quick video tutorial on the new interface of Bluebeam Revu 2018. I will be creating additional videos for Revu 2018 to cover functions and features such as document compare and overlay, hyperlinking, and so on and so forth. So if you get a chance, check out some of my other videos as well. Thank you very much for watching.